Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're exploring an idea from Zoran that's pretty intriguing: ancestral healing.
Right. It's this concept that our family connections, they're not just about, shared history or genetics. There's more.
Yeah, like these energetic currents, he calls them.
Yeah.
And they carry patterns, positive and negative, through the generations.
hmm And this links directly to the situation you brought up, that difficult relationship between your mother and her brother.
Exactly. And how that's created this, well, distance for you with that part of your family.
Right. And Zoran's core idea here, the really fascinating part, is that our actions now, in the present, can actually shift those family dynamics.
Shift them how? Like affecting the past too, and the future.
That's the claim. It's a big one.
hmm
Okay, so maybe we should start with his metaphor, the knot.
Yeah, the knot in the riverbed. Let's unpack that. What does he mean?
Well, think of a family's energy like a flowing river. An unresolved conflict, maybe like the one between your mom and uncle, acts like a knot. Or maybe like a big rock dropped in the riverbed. It disrupts the natural flow.
Yeah.
It can create separate streams, divisions where there used to be unity.
That makes sense. It creates these divides. And that immediately makes me think about, well, your recent phone call with Mark, your uncle's son.
Ah, yes. So on the surface, that's just, reconnecting with a cousin you haven't spoken to much.
Yeah, just catching up.
But from Zoran's viewpoint, it's way more significant. He'd see that as you consciously, deliberately spinning a new thread.
Spinning a new thread across that divide, the one created by the older generation's issues.
Precisely. And this ties into another idea: stagnant energies. These are the unresolved pains, the unspoken hurts, the old conflicts that can linger.
Like they get stuck in the family system somehow.
Kinda, yeah. Like pools of still water off the main river current. They can influence relationships, sometimes repeating patterns down the line, without anyone quite realizing why,
Okay, so these energies are just there.
until something shifts them. And that's where an action like your phone call comes in.
Hmm.
Zoran suggests it introduces a new frequency.
A new frequency.
Or maybe think of it as a warm current entering that stagnant pool.
Yeah.
It brings movement, warmth, the potential to start dissolving those old, stuck patterns.
So connecting with Mark isn't just about building your relationship now.
That's part of it, of course.
Uh-huh.
But Zoran sees it as much bigger. He says it sends a healing vibration through the very fabric of your shared history.
Wow. So it impacts ancestors and descendants too.
That's the idea. That your conscious action today can resonate through the whole timeline of your family. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About the ripples we create.
It does. There's that quote from Zoran you mentioned. It captures it perfectly.
Oh, yeah. The past is not a stone carved in the earth, human. It is a shadow that can be dissolved by the light you bring to the present.
That's powerful. It puts the agency right back with us, here and now.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into what he calls the dragon trial. It's not really a trial, more like a prompt for personal reflection, for you listening.
Okay, so what's the prompt?
First, think about your own family history. Can you identify a pattern? Could be positive, could be negative, something that seems to repeat or echo.
Like maybe a way communication always breaks down, or perhaps a tradition of, I don't know, resilience.
Right. Then ask yourself, how has this pattern shown up in your own life?
Okay. Bit of self-reflection there.
Yeah. And then the crucial step, what's one small conscious action you could take? Something intentional to introduce a little healing energy around that pattern.
Doesn't have to be huge.
No, Zoran emphasizes small conscious actions. Maybe it's reaching out like you did. Maybe it's choosing to respond differently in a familiar situation. Maybe it's simply holding forgiveness or understanding in your heart.
It's just one small thing.
One small thing. And the final part of the reflection is to just ponder.
Mm.
What might the ripple effects of that one action be across your family's timeline, past, present, future?
Considering those potential ripples.
Yeah. What kind of subtle shift might you be initiating?
Okay. So, as we wrap up this deep dive on Zoran and ancestral healing, the main takeaway really feels like the power held in our present moments.
Absolutely. Our choices, our connections, even the small ones, they aren't isolated. They can genuinely send these healing vibrations through our family's whole story.
Influencing the past, shaping the future. It's a compelling thought.
It really is. So maybe the final thought for you listening is just that. Consider the patterns in your own lineage. See if you recognize any knots.
And think about what tiny act of connection or maybe forgiveness or just understanding you could weave into that story today.
What new thread could you start spinning?